Welcome to the Work, Wealth, and Travel podcast. I'm your host, Nicole, and this podcast is your guide to start creating a lifestyle by design. From entrepreneurship, money and finance, taxes and residencies, and everything in between, this show highlights the nuances of a true global citizen lifestyle. Let's dive in. Welcome back to another episode of the Work, Wealth, and Travel podcast. In today's episode, I'm going to be chatting about the 5 Caribbean countries that you can essentially purchase a passport from. There are a few different ways on how you would invest into these countries and what that purchase looks like. If you are looking to obtain a backup option, a third, fourth, fifth, whatever it may be, passport and also bank account, of course, goes along with this as well once you are a citizen. If you are looking to obtain a really beneficial passport in one of the Caribbean islands, there are 5 Caribbean islands that have for quite a few decades, if not longer for some of them, now have offered a amazing citizenship by investment program, also called CBI, you may have heard before. In this episode, I'm going to be diving into what these 5 different options are, and then basics on each of the programs, the cost, how much it is for a single applicant, a family, the eligibility, the time until citizenship, which is just wild how quickly you can really obtain these passports, then what the visa-free access looks like. And these countries, well, they don't have visa-free, most of them, to every single destination that you could possibly want. If you don't travel to your Canadas, your Americas, usually America is a big one that is not offered, but there are only a few countries that are predominant global player countries that are not included in these passports. So you will not get visa-free access with most of these passports. So overall, if you're not looking to travel to those few countries, this is an amazing passport, second, third, fourth, like I said, whatever it may be, passport option. So there are 5 countries that do offer citizenship by investment in the Caribbean. These 5 countries and 5 islands consist of St. Kitts and Nevis, Grenada, St. Lucia, Antigua and Barbuda, and Dominica. So these are the 5 islands. I'm going to dive into the details of each of these islands. The first one I'm going to start with is the longest running, the superior passport, which is St. Kitts and Nevis. So St. Kitts and Nevis, like I said, they have the longest running Caribbean citizenship program, and it launched in 1984. So quite a while ago, multiple decades ago. This has been around. Now, St. Kitts and Nevis has recently changed their pricing. In 2023, it increased by quite a bit. And it's likely that in 2024, the other countries will follow suit. So if you are wanting to obtain one of these Caribbean citizenship by investment programs, I would highly, highly recommend getting on it now. Feel free to reach out. My team and my team is in the Caribbean. They provide these passports through various different options. Get on it now. Get the paperwork in before the end of 2023 or as soon as you possibly can before pricing goes up, because once one of their pricing goes up, all of their pricing will go up. Your options to obtain the citizenship in St. Kitts and Nevis is either through investing in the Sustainable Island State Contribution, having a real estate investment, or the public benefit option. These are the 3 options. Like I said, if you would like more information on each, then feel free to reach out to me and my team. You can email me hello@workwealthandtravel.com. I'm happy to provide more detail on whichever one looks most enticing to you. The updated pricing for 2023 for St. Kitts and Nevis is $250,000 US dollars. We're talking $250,000 USD for a single applicant, or $350,000 for a family of 4. Not too much more, $100,000 more for a family of 4. And the family eligibility includes spouse, children, and dependent. So you can add either your spouse, your children, or dependent parents onto the application included in the family of 4. The time until citizenship is 4 months. 4 months. I'm sorry. Can we just talk about this for a second? 4 months, and this is a very standard time frame. Some of them are a little bit longer right now, which I'll dive into later, but 4 months, and even I think the longest right now with a bit of a wait time is 8 months. Less than a year to obtain a passport completely legally is almost unheard of in this space. And so if you do want a pretty quick and easy passport where, it's called citizenship by investment, you're likely in most cases not really getting an investment. It's more of a donation, not in all cases, but in some cases, it is more of a donation. But you are getting an excellent return on your money in terms of a great passport. Something important to include in the St. Kitts and Nevis passport is that once you have it, your family down the line is also entitled to the citizenship and the passport, which is wild. You put your dependents on the application, but then any dependents that are born in the future, generations down the line, are also entitled to the St. Kitts and Nevis passport. It is a generational passport, which is just so unheard of. And with St. Kitts and Nevis, you get access to over 140 countries, visa free travel, including the EU, the UK, Singapore, Hong Kong, and Russia. Not a bad fleet of countries. Russia is definitely a more difficult one for a lot of countries to have visa free access to travel. But most of these passports, except for one of them, as it currently stands, this can always change, of course, depending on the relations between countries. But as of right now, only one of these passports does not have visa free access to Russia. Next up, we have Antigua and Barbuda. Antigua and Barbuda is another really great option. They have some excellent investment options. Currently, I don't know for how much longer, but my contacts have some amazing real estate investment options. So the main applicant who applies with a spouse and two children must donate at least 100,000 US dollars to the National Development Fund to get the passport. Then, if you do have a larger family with six or more, the donation to the university is going to be 150,000 to obtain the passport. It also includes one member getting a year of free tuition at the University of West Indies. With Antigua and Barbuda, the family eligibility, it will include spouse, children, dependent, parents, grandparents, and siblings. You can add any of those on to the family of four option, which is not bad. It is definitely a wider range than St. Kitts. The time to citizenship is about 3 to 4 months. And again, access to over 140 countries, including EU, UK, Singapore, Hong Kong, and Russia. So very similar to St. Kitts and Nevis, it just depends which option you would like to invest with. Of course, St. Kitts and Nevis is 250,000, where Antigua and Barbuda for a single applicant is 100,000. However, it just depends what you are looking for. Antigua and Barbuda will not allow you to pass on the passport generationally. That is a little bit different. And it just depends where you want to spend your time. They currently have a really amazing deal for real estate. Now, you can invest around $200,000 in real estate. And after 5.5 years of holding the real estate on the island, the developer of the real estate project of the resort itself will guarantee to buy back the property for 135,000, or you can sell that property to somebody else who is entering the citizenship by investment program. This is probably the best deal as it currently stands. It's not going to last forever. Feel free to reach out to me, hello@workwealthandtravel.com, if you are interested to learn more. I have completely qualified and licensed agents that I work with in the Caribbean islands who will legally sell you these passports, sell you the development. I'm happy to hop on a call with you, with them, so that you can feel confident in making this purchase and get any questions answered. If that is something that you are interested in, like I said, feel free to email me. The next country we're going to chat about is St. Lucia. Now, St. Lucia has a few different options to obtain the citizenship. The first one is a real estate investment of at least 200,000, and this is usually the case with most Caribbean passport citizenship by investments from an approved real estate development. So that is usually how it will look. It needs to be from an approved real estate development on the island. It cannot just be any real estate that you want. And then the property must be held for at least 5 years. You can also make a donation to the National Economic Fund of $100,000, or you can invest a minimum of 300,000 in a non-interest bearing government bonds, which must be held for at least 5 years. So you're not getting any interest on that when you take it out. You can also partake in an approved enterprise project with a minimum contribution of $1 million in a project worth at least $6 million. You have to contribute $1 million and the project has to be worth at least $6 million. With St. Lucia, there are a few different options on the table right now. St. Lucia, as I mentioned, starts at 100,000 for a single applicant, but for a family of 4, it is 150,000. And the family eligibility is spouse, children, dependent parents, and siblings. So again, a wider range. You are able to add your siblings on as well to the family of 4 options, and it takes about 3 to 4 months to obtain this passport. The next option is Dominica. Now, Dominica is interesting because it was 4 times over named the best citizenship by investment program in the world in 2022. So, not a bad ranking. And the minimum donation is $100,000 if you would like to go the donation route, which will get you the passport. You can also choose to invest 200,000 in, again, pre-approved real estate, pre-approved being the key there, granting you a passport. As with all of these options, there are no stay requirements. And again, the entire family is eligible. For a single applicant, it's 100,000. If we're looking at a family of 4, it's only 175,000. The dependents include spouse, children, dependent parents, and grandparents. And it takes about 2 to 3 months' time in order to obtain this passport. Before we move on to the last citizenship by investment program that you can very easily obtain in the Caribbean islands, I wanted to chat to you about one of the really cool platforms for global citizens, digital nomads who don't necessarily have a home base, which is totally what I resonate with. And when I first heard about this, I really loved the concept because, like I said, I don't have a home address. I don't live anywhere per se. I travel full time. And if you are the same, or if you are looking to live a similar lifestyle, while it is amazing, one of the difficulties and a pretty big difficulty of this lifestyle is that whenever I need to go open a bank account or for any KYC process, they want a utility bill, a bank statement. They want something with my home address on it. And I don't really have that. It makes finance investing a lot more difficult as a global citizen. However, a really interesting solution has recently come to my attention. The app is called Neverless. I highly, highly recommend checking it out on the App Store, the Google Play Store. It's currently on a wait list, but I have been diving into the app so that you don't have to. I've gotten past the wait list. I have talked with the founders, and this is a really interesting investment solution for those of us who are global citizens who don't have a home. This app makes it very easy for you to invest your money as a global citizen. While it may be pretty difficult to open a traditional investment account, the app Nevertheless makes this very, very easy for those of us who lead a true global citizen lifestyle. So they have 2 different investment options. One gives you around 5% yield, and the other varies between 10 to 20%. The 5% is coming from US government bonds, so pretty safe strategies. And the other return, anywhere from 10 to 20% on average, is through automated arbitrage strategies with fluctuating APY. How these strategies generate returns is by taking advantage of arbitrage opportunities. For example, market inefficiencies, market anomalies, in real time. It's been a really interesting option as a global citizen to continue diversifying and investing my money and not just holding it all on one investment brokerage platform. So, like I said, they are by waitlist only right now, but feel free to sign up for the waitlist. Download the app Neverless, one word, check it out. When you get off of the waitlist, you can start passively investing your money and withdraw anytime. So the last option we have is Grenada. Grenada is a great route to the USA if that is something that you are looking for. Grenada specifically holds an E2 visa treaty with the US, which means that with a Grenada passport, you are able to then apply for a US non immigrant visa. And potentially, if you are approved, relocate your family to the US. And this is the only country in the Caribbean that currently has this option. Grenada also has visa free access to China, which, as we all know, not many countries offer this. And again, there is no minimum stay requirement for Grenada. So a single applicant will run you $150,000 while a family of four is $200,000. So only $50,000 more for a family of four. The family eligibility is spouse, children, dependent parents, grandparents, and siblings, similar to Antigua and Barbuda. And it takes around 3 to 4 months' time to obtain this passport. All of these passport options, easily less than a year to obtain the passport and the citizenship by investment. Like I said, there are a few countries that are a little bit longer of a wait time, still less than 1 year, but a little bit longer of a wait time currently. But this can always change. If you are interested in one or two of these countries in particular for investment, feel free to reach out and I'm happy to let you know which countries may be a little bit backlogged. One other question I get asked quite a lot is, can I maintain dual citizenship if I get any of these Caribbean passports? And the answer is yes. All of these Caribbean countries currently recognize dual citizenship, meaning that you will not be required to give up your first nationality in order to obtain any one of these Caribbean passports. However, in saying this, you do want to check the country that you hold citizenship to see if there are any rules when obtaining one or multiple of these Caribbean citizenship passport options. They may not let you obtain one of these passports, but in terms of these five Caribbean countries, they all do recognize dual citizenship. That was a quick synopsis of the five different investment options if you are looking to obtain citizenship by investment in the Caribbean, what it will run you and a family of four if you are looking to obtain one of these passports to potentially relocate if you do want to live there. We also have connections with amazing real estate agents who, once a passport is obtained or during the process, can help you in purchasing or renting real estate. Like I said, if you are interested in learning more, getting in on the real estate investment option for Antigua and Barbuda, or just learning more about any of these passports, if one of these countries does specifically spark your interest, email me hello@workwealthandtravel.com. I would be more than happy to get you in touch with our team to get you more information and to get the ball rolling for you before prices potentially, nothing is confirmed, but potentially do go up. Thank you for joining me in this episode of the Work, Wealth, and Travel podcast, and I will see you in the next. You've just listened to the Work, Wealth, and Travel podcast. If anything from this episode resonated with you, I would appreciate if you share this podcast on your socials. And of course, be sure to tag me. And don't forget to leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. Thank you for joining me on this global citizen journey, and I'll see you in the next episode.